Shalom. All praises due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rechak Wadash. The honors to the elect apostle elders at Great Millstone that were well. Shalom to like Ike out there doing this work in sincerity and truth and not for vainglory in season out of season. Shalom to the elect men, women, sons and daughters of the nation of Israel, which are the men and women, sons and daughters of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered throughout North, South, and Central America and the four corners of the earth. Okay, so I just want to bring this out. It says Trump pushed to stop harassing natives. As you can see, this is a Native American woman from the tribe of Gad. Okay, and she's, I'm not gonna play the whole video. I just want to play that that Trump is even harassing the Native Americans, which is the tribe of Gad, according to the Bible. Okay, you gotta you have a so-called Israelites that don't believe in the 12 tribes chart. That's cool. Like the elder Yashawamba said, he cares not for your unbelief. He was talking about Abba Bibbins, which the founder of One West, which we believe, according to the scriptures, according to the Bible, is the prophet Elijah. Okay, but so let's just play it. All right.
We were contacted by the mother of this individual. And mom said, please don't put my name out there. Please don't say it because I'm scared. I'm scared because I'm afraid that the government is going to come after me for telling about what happened. If you are saying...
Let me rewind it a little bit more. I kind of went too far on it. Hold on. Let me see. She said a Navajo, so yeah, it's a lot.
Who is a Navajo male was detained in Phoenix. Apparently it happened yesterday, and was released sometime this morning. The detainment was done by ICE, and it was a scary, traumatic experience. This individual, we were contacted by the mother of this individual. And mom said, please don't put my name out there. Please don't say it because I'm scared. I'm scared because I'm afraid that the government is going to come after me for telling about what happened. If you are saying that's not what Trump is saying. What I questioned is how many U.S. presidents have ever talked about citizenship of American Indians and compared that to what is happening with illegal immigrants. And nobody could say not one president, because not one United States president has ever questioned the citizenship of American Indians after the Citizenship Act was passed. The reality is we know that Immigration Custom Enforcement is making sweeps. Some people are justifying it and they're saying, well, they're only doing sweeps of those, neighborhoods.
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. So they made some kind of treaty, right, to say that these are the Native Americans, right? But see, that's the problem. Anytime a so-called white man makes a promise or a treaty, he's going to break it. Okay? All right? He's going to break it. So she said no other president has done that. But after Indian Treaty Act and all that. But listen, the so-called white man doesn't keep his promises. All his treaties he makes, okay, with the nation of Israel and even with the heathen nations, but to hell with them, all right? When it comes to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, he never keeps his promises. He always breaks his treaties, okay? All right, so let's just go to it. I just want to show, this video. They're harassing the tribe of Gad, which would be called the so-called Native Americans. That's what the so-called white man named them. But Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, named them the tribe of God. Okay? All right, so let's just go to it. Let me see. I think it's on the same thing. Yeah, let's just go to it. This is nothing new. This has always been happening, throughout our history of, the 12 tribes of Israel, okay, which are your so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This has always been happening, okay? There's nothing new under the sun, okay? All right. Let's go. I just want to read First Maccabees 1 and 30th verse. All right. It says, let me see. Okay. Well, anyway, you can read the whole verse. It says, I'll start at the 29th verse. It says, and after 2 years fully expired, the king, which is Antiochus Epiphanes, sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, so-called black man, right? Because that's who Judah is, the so-called black man. And in Hebrew, his name is Yahweh, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words unto them. After the Indian Act, and we made this treaty, and we made that treaty, and we did this treaty with the North American Indians, and yes, we're gonna sign your name here, and we're gonna make sure that you have your own police on the reservations, and the federal government's not going to come in, and we're going to give you money, and we're going to make sure we recognize you as a state and federally recognized tribe as this and that, whatever perspective tribe you're from, whatever Native American tribe you're from. And here it is. It's all bullshit, man. It's all lies. Okay? But so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans like to hear the so-called white man lie to them, and speak peaceable words to them, because it gives them a warm, fuzzy feeling, But it's all bullshit, okay? The so-called white man never keeps his promises. He's always lying to you. I don't care what he tell you. I don't care how sweet the words sound in a simple-minded so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American's ears, man. Okay? It says, and spake peaceable words. This is Antiochus Epiphanes. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. It was all deceit. It was all bullshit. He was deceiving you. Just like the so-called white man is doing now. Just like he's been doing. Biden made many promises to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. He ain't keep near fucking none of them. Okay? Barack Obama, he ain't keep near none of them. But we focusing on the so-called white man. Now Trump is doing his thing. Good for you. So-called 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans that believe in anything that the so-called white man tells you. Good for your ass, man. And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city. Oh boy. Now here it is. You got all these simple-minded Latinos and Hispanics and Negroes voting for fucking Trump, man. And what did he do? He fell suddenly upon you. Okay? Now, what is he doing? He's deporting you back to the country that you didn't want to be in. You thought you was going to have a better life in America. Well, good for your fucking simple ass, man. Okay? All right? Because the prophets of the Lord has been out there for many, many years. But we know, of course, this is only for the elect to get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. For 2/3 of you, Isaiah 6 and 9. Okay? All right? Just read that. It says, and when he had taken the spoils of the city, Salak, I didn't finish it. And he spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people in Israel. So it's talking at this particular time, it's talking about you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians. Okay? All right? Just like when Cortez and Pizarro came over down here to Mexico, just like when a so-called white man came over here to North America with the tribe of Gad and, Reuben, they spoke all these peaceable words and, no, we just want to, when Esau first came over here and they landed on wherever they landed in New England, whatever the hell they landed at, and what did they do? They spoke peaceably, like they just wanted to come over there and live. And what they do, as soon as the tribe of Gad, tribe of Issachar, tribe of Gad is North American Indians, tribe of Issachar is the so-called Mexican Indians. What they do, they turn around and stabbed you in the back, man. Okay? All right? The Spaniards, the so-called white man Spaniard from Spain with Issachar and all the other Latin tribes, and a so-called white man from Europe and Holland and every other place with you so-called Native Americans, man. Okay? It says, and when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captive and possessed the cattle. Yeah, man. So, it's, the scriptures already is telling you what the situation is with Esau, the so-called white man. I don't care what policy he claims to want to bring. I don't care what president, you find what Trump says, or, he's going to do this and he's going to do that for, he's going to bring down taxes. And look, man, the so-called white man will never keep his promises. Whatever agreement he makes with you, he's always going to break it. Okay? All right? Not saying that the Latinos and so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, and Americans can't learn from the situation and repent, but that's only for the elect. All right? Okay, we were all Gentiles at one time. We all believed in this government at one time. But being Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai delivered the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans out of that, the elect of them out of that was called into this truth. Now we know what the so-called white man is all about. Okay? So this should be a lesson to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans of the elect of you. We know 2/3, and you just going to just keep on believing whatever the so-called white man tells you. All right? And this is what he's doing. Okay? All right, so let's go to Psalms. What is it? What is this? Psalms 55. And these are like basic scriptures, but hey, listen, they ring true to the same very day, yo. You know. So-called white man will never keep his promises that he make to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The other heathen nations know this, but for some reason, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you refuse to want to take heed because you got sweet Jesus in your mind. All right. Psalms the 55th chapter. What is it? 20th verse. Let me see. Oh, Psalms 55 and 21. All right. It says, let me see. And 21. Okay. It says, the words of the his is talking about the so-called white man. Okay. Mouth were smoother than butter. Yeah, man. It was smooth. It sound good. All these presidents, man. It ain't, look, it's not this Trump. It's this Trump is moving. Okay. Trump is just moving fast, man. But it's Biden, it's Barack Obama, it's Bush, all the presidents, all of them. All right. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. He tells you what you want to hear. Oh, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. Right. I'm going to cut taxes. I'm going to build more affordable housing. I'm going to stop the police harassment, the stop and frisk. I'm going to do this. I'm going to take your college debt away. You know what I'm saying? And it's just all bullshit. And as soon as you believe him and turn your back, what does he do? He destroys what you have built up, and he destroys you and keeps you in desolation. Okay? The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart, in his mind, right? So every time the so-called white man tells you what he's going to do for you, war is in his heart. He's thinking how to undermine you. He's thinking how to destroy you. Okay? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because that's your enemy. I know you got Caesar Borgias up there, the white Jesus Christ up there, but he's your enemy. Okay? It says, his words were smoother than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So this is how Esau gets down, man. This is how the so-called white man gets down. And just, like I said, this is just a small beginning of the so-called white man showing his horns. All right, just read Revelations 12 and 12. All right, then. Let me see. Yeah, basically, yep. Yeah, that's it. So that's all I wanted to bring out. Listen, man, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, okay, that may be of the elect, which, we believe the elect is already sealed. But hey, man, just remember the prophets told you not to trust this so-called white man. All right. Oh, no, 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 no. I got another scripture to bring out. My bad. Okay, that's the book of Sirach 12 and 10. That's right. Yeah. What am I talking about? All right. All right. Okay, let's get that. Sirach 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy. Who's your enemy? So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans? Well, your number one enemy is the so-called white man. Okay? That's your number one enemy. Why? Because the simple fact is that he was your enemy from the beginning, all the way back to the book of Genesis. Okay? 25th chapter. He was your enemy. All right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, you come from Jacob, your forefather, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Esau, that's the progenitor of all you so-called white people. And you were literally trying to take each other out in Rebecca's womb. So he's always been your enemy from jump. Okay? All right? Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Yeah, and iron is going to rust. Point blank. So, like I said, the so-called white man will never keep his promise to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. And if you believe in him, okay, then you're going to receive the reward of believing in him. Okay? All right? You're going to receive the wrath that he's going to bring down upon you because you believe in him. Okay? Which is really the wrath of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, because he set up Esau, which is a so-called white man, to be his sword. All right? And he set him up to be your enemy, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Hope you may edify them with that. Shalom.